Hey everyone, this is Jean. So I'm going to show you how to print and cut this shaped card with your Silhouette Studio program. And you don't need the designer edition to make this card because I am not using an SVG. So you can use the free studio program that came with your cutter. And also this image that I'm using comes from Lettering Delights, and it is actually their free alphabet sample of the month. And if you go to my blog under cherrytree.com, I have a brief explanation on how you can download this design for free from their website. And if you are watching this video after October 2012, the sample is probably not free anymore, but you can still purchase it so that you can make this card. So I have already downloaded the image to my computer, and I am going to bring it to the virtual mat. I'm just going to drag and drop. Now there is an irregularity with this image because, as you can see, the bounding box is a lot bigger than the image itself, but we are going to make a quick correction to that. Just use the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle close to the colored image and do a Ctrl A and go to Object, Modify, and select Intersect. So now it is a lot closer. The box is a lot closer to the image, and now we can start making our card. Now, because a graphic does not come with cutting lines, the first thing that I'm going to do is to make a trace of the design so that I can get a cut line. So I'm just going to open the trace window and select the trace area by drawing this box. I will uncheck high pass filter and increase the threshold all the way to 100%. Click trace outer edge, and I will have the cut lines for this image. Now the thing is, I don't want to cut so closely around this pumpkin. I want an offset of it. So I'm going to select the cut lines, and I will make an offset by selecting the offset over here, and I'm going to set the offset distance to be around 0.15 inch thereabouts, and I will click apply. So now I don't need the original trace lines anymore, so I'm just going to delete it. So with that done, this is actually the card front, and I'm going to set the size of my card by reducing the size, because now it's actually pretty big. Right now it's about 7 inches tall, and that's too big for a little note card that I want. So I'm just going to select the whole thing. Well, I could actually reduce the size. I just did a Ctrl A to select the whole thing. So I could reduce the size by dragging the corners in or out. But I want to set it at 4 inches. So a faster way would be to just group the whole thing. I do a right click and I will select group, and then I will open the scale window and lock aspect ratio and change the height to 4 inches and hit apply. So now it is reduced to 4 inches tall, and I can make the card base next. So let's just ungroup by doing a right click, ungroup, and just, you know what, I'm just gonna zoom in so we can all have a better look, because I am going to select the offset and doing a right click, copy, right click again to paste, and I'm going to move it to the side, maybe over here. So let's just zoom out again so we have more room. I'm gonna move it here. And I'm going to select it again, and I'm going to make another copy. And I'm going to paste it again, move it to the side, and I'm going to do a flip horizontally. And I'm going to align both of them by selecting both and going to align bottom and selecting one on the right side or the left, it doesn't matter. I'm going to nudge them closer together by using the arrow keys on my keyboard. And I think this looks good enough for them to join. I don't want too much of an overlap, but I also do not want it to be so little so that the card base is flimsy and can be easily torn apart. So I think something like that would be good. So I'm just going to select both sides of the card and do a right click, weld it together. So now I actually have my two layers that I can use to make the card, and I'm actually ready to cut them out. So let's just let me just show you quickly how to get it done. So I'm going to select this two, and I'm going to right click and group them together just so that I can easily move them everywhere, anywhere. And I don't need to print and cut this card base because there's really no design on it. It's just cut lines. So what I would do is to place my cardstock on my cutting mat, load the cutting mat into my cutter, and click on this Send to Silhouette button to cut the card base out. And I have a picture here that illustrates that, so that would be something like that. And for the cut front, I need to do a print and cut on that. So for that, I will need to show the registration marks. Now, of course, if you do not have a wide format printer, you will need to print this out on a letter size page. You can change the size of the paper to letter with the registration mark still shown. Now, if I had gone too fast, let me just show you again how to show the registration marks. Click on this registration marks thingy, the window, and check the show registration marks. Alright, so bring this onto the page within all the margins and outside of the shaded area. And again, do the same thing. Click on this Send to Silhouette button and follow the instructions here to print to your printer. And once that has finished printing, to place it onto your cutting mat, load that cutting mat into the Silhouette cutter and continue to follow the instructions on this side of the screen. It will ask you if you want to scan the registration marks, and click yes to detect it automatically and to have the image cut out. Alright, so I have a picture here that shows my paper being loaded. Alright, so basically that's it. Once these two layers have been cut out, you should get this cut out of the cut front and the cut base that we cut out earlier. Just glue down the cut front and your shaped card is done. Now for more pictures, please go to my blog under cherrytree.com, and you will also find other print and cut tutorials. And if you're on Facebook, I would love it if you would check out my page. Just look for Under a Cherry Tree. Alright, so thanks for watching this video. Bye!